Boom, ba boom. Gents, how are we doing? Hope all is well. Going to discuss today foods to boost vitality and most importantly as well, your testosterone levels, which are so important. I believe there is an infinite source of energy on this planet that we can all tap into, and it comes to having a great degree of vitality. So foods to boost vitality. Obviously, there's kind of physical vitality. There's also a mental vitality, and I'll get into it as we go along. But you're very welcome here. My name is James Tempton, right? So foods to boost vitality. But first off, what is vitality? I think it's most important to discuss, what is this source of energy that can course through anyone's body. And I should mention as well, when you have a greater barometer of energy, so think of that input, when you have a greater degree of that input of energy, you can have a greater degree of output in what you do in life, in what you achieve, the success that comes your way, because you've got so much to give, you're going to get so much in return. So input, great energy; output is your success and all the goodness that comes with life when you've got more energy. But anyway, the vitality, right? So what is it? Let's break it down. The power to live, grow, and thrive. I think that's the most important word there, is we want to thrive in life. We want to be steering ourselves forward. We don't want to be surviving. We want to be in that mode of thriving, right? The quality of being strong, active, and energetic. I think of another definition here, but these are some sentences that I came across that are great descriptions of someone that has vitality. I love that word, vitality. And actually, in the Latin term of vitality, it's vitalis or vitalis, right? And it means the manifestation of or the beginning of life. So we create. When you've got vitality, you've got this creative, energetic source coming through you, and that's the power of it, should I say? But I want to discuss just one or two sentences here. So this is great descriptions of what vitality is. His vitality was obvious. So when someone has great degrees of energy, it's very clear that they have it. They're tapping into this infinite source, like I mentioned. He moved with purpose and lit up every room he entered. So I think of someone that had great vitality is McGregor on the come up, right? Conor McGregor, when he was, eclipsing the UFC and becoming a double champion, that vitality, he was on his mission, but also his body was so finely tuned with nutrition, with restoration, with his sleep, with just how he moved in general. He had a great degree of vitality, right? That's a good example to add in there. Proper nutrition and rest, like I mentioned there, restores your physical vitality. And a man's vitality reflects the quality of his habits. So like I said, when you have greater degrees of energy, you can do so much more in life. And that's what we all want to do. We want to have this state of feeling just this infinite source of energy, and you never run out of it. That's the great thing about vitality. Obviously, you need a rest at times. Rest is very important, but you never run out of it, right? So the state of being strong and active, energetic, once again, the power giving continuance of life, present in all living things. So vitality is there, right? So we want to discuss obviously the nutritional side, and I'll add a few points in as we go along. But vitality and nutrition, the right foods for you to eat. Look, the most obvious one, right, is steak. Well, I'm going to start there in a sec, but you want to focus on your hormones. So for a man, testosterone is obviously the prominent hormone in your body. It is the hormone that fuels domination. And men are always competing against each other. We live in a competitive world. There's a hierarchy, and that's where you want to scale the hierarchy, whether that's status, wealth, resources, financial wealth, once again, whatever it might be, status. I just said status again, but you want to become more powerful as a man. You need to tap into your hormones. Your hormones are chemical messengers, and when you're tapping into the right ones, you're going to excel in life. I wasn't always this vitalized. I didn't always have this exuberance for life or have this feeling of testosterone. And now I definitely can improve my testosterone, but I've been eating the right way. I've been training the right way. I've been filling my body with the right minerals and nutrients and supplementation, and I'm telling you, it works. Because if it works for me, like it did before, it can work for you, right? We're going to focus on foods like eggs, very straightforward, and I'll get into why in a sec. Liver, oysters, full of zinc, must have. Avocados, olive oil, healthy fats. Fats are the precursor to building blocks of testosterone, and we'll touch on cholesterol later. But higher testosterone, gents, right? A man that has higher testosterone, if you think of that hierarchy and the men at the top of that, you can get there, by the way, you can get up the top, right? They have more drive in life. They want to do more. They have that vital energy course through them. They're aggressive, but in a healthy sense towards their goals. They're conquering, they're getting after it. They're in pursuit of their goals, but in an aggressive sense. It's a very powerful emotion, man. We feel aggression a lot. High libido, your sex drive, it's very important if you're not healthy unless that sex drive is in place. And then obviously confidence that comes with it. When you have more energy and have higher degrees of testosterone, of course you're going to be confident. You're more likely to take risks. You're more assertive in who you are. But anyway, we're going to tap into how we get there. It's steak, red meat, number one. Full of zinc, full of creatine. We're going to just quickly discuss why you should be eating this at least 2 to 3 times a week, gents. Testosterone boost. Like I said, rich in zinc, saturated fat and cholesterol, and it fuels natural T levels. Muscle and strength. Obviously, it's quality protein. It's got creatine, more power, faster recovery. You know how it is. Mental focus. It's full of B vitamins, etc., etc. Look, the bottom line is red meat, and especially steak, has to be eaten at least 2 to 3 times a week, right? Because you're going to get them minerals that make up testosterone, which fuel your confidence, which fuel your mental state. Roughly 350 grams of steak, and you're looking some potatoes there, good source of carbs, olive oil, and then red onions and garlic. Very straightforward. Calories are there, gents. We're going to move on. But anyway, look, I think it's important to mention when you eat this way, there's muscle growth and strength. You're going to grow. You're going to develop, right? Because it's packed with the essential proteins and amino acids that your body needs to build. So, you know, you want to have a high creatine content. You want to boost your power, endurance, recovery, and build lean, dense muscle. The most important thing is lean. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're a guy that has a lot of fat in his body, it's hard to see the muscle definition. But when you're eating correctly and you're lean, you can see the shoulders, there's abs starting to pop out, you know, overall, there's veins going. That's what is attractive as well. That's what people want. That's what all men want. You want a lean body. Think of Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Lean body. It wasn't massive, but he's kind of got that fighter physique. And to be honest, out of all the physiques, the athletic lean physique is the best. It really, really is. And you can move as well. You're capable, right? Which is very good. Meal 2. About 6 eggs, gents. Eggs have cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone. So it's like the building blocks. Cholesterol is the building blocks to testosterone. So at least 6 eggs. It has to be. Rock it. Get some onions in there. Get some sourdough bread. Good, healthy carb source as well. We're not eating bullshit carbs like fucking pasta or like crisps. That's all bullshit. We want to keep it real simple. Sourdough, bit of rice, and then potatoes. Simple as, right? Benefits of eggs, like quality protein, and like I said, it's got the fats. Sourdough, gut friendly. It's fermented, so it's brilliant, right? And then look, blood flow, gents. We should all know about blood flow, but you need to get the rocket in there, and I'll have you firing on all cylinders, right? There's the macros once again. Just keeping it very straightforward. It's good to mention, like, eating this way, you'll be mentally sharp, right? So you want to be able to focus. You want to have good memory recall, and you want to be emotionally stable. So the foods you eat. So if I see someone on a very high sugar, high fat diet, they're full of inflammation. That's affecting their brain. When you're eating this way and you're eating healthy and clean, you're operating from a better place. You can think clearly, right? Another, very simple, very straightforward, yogurt. Keep it 0. If you're trying to get lean, 0% fat. I love this skier yogurt. Great value for money as well. Bit of berries, maybe some dark chocolate, honey, bing bang bosh. We're on the money, right? Because this gives us sustained energy. And this obviously relates here with the iron content to red meat and steak, right? With that, with the iron production that you get from red meat, what happens? We get better oxygen delivery. So more stamina. So this is like, it's seen a knock-on effect, the compounded effect of eating the right way, and it keeps your energy high without any crashes. And like I said, that is what vitality is all about, gents. That we just have this vital energy, we can keep on producing more, right? A great meal I've been having lately, 2 tins of tuna, a bit of tomato, some maybe spinach or rocket chopped up, beautiful. Sea salt over the top. It is fantastic. Lean fuel. And it takes about 30 seconds to do, and it's over about 55 grams of protein. It's amazing. Right, one of my all-time favorites, gents, and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this. Any person that knows about putting on muscle, you've got to be eating lean mince. Now, lean mince, don't want to be eating any of the high-fat stuff. So anything under 5% is ideal. Bit of white rice there. And then we got our veg. Guys, we've got to eat our veg. Got to eat our veg. Full of fiber, but also just full of, micronutrients that you need as well. And we are nearly there. But look, fruit, oh my God. God created fruit, gents. You've got to eat it. It's nature's candy, right? Eat like a man built to conquer, not like a boy addicted to dopamine. And that's what I refer to when I talk about, fucking sugar and bullshit. What are you doing to your brain? Anyway, look, you look good when you eat this way. Foods to avoid. I'll probably get this later stage. But seed oils, soy products, bullshit. I'm actually going to make another video. Listen, if you've got this far, gents, like and subscribe. Please share with a friend, and I will catch you on the next one. All the best. Boom.